Sandals and shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
Previously on Two Balls and a Mic.
Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic, 277 episodes in a row. We're back here on a Monday to talk some San Diego soccer because it was a wild week of soccer in San Diego and outside of San Diego for San Diego FC, who for the first time ever have a midweek game played against Colorado Rapids. The second time they face them, they win 2-0. Short turnaround training. Then once again on Saturday for a 0-0 match against Sporting Kansas City. 7 points out of a possible 9 in the last couple of games for San Diego FC. They are in second in the Western Conference. Third. Well, we're second, now third. Yep. Minnesota and Vancouver, 1 and 2. On the other side of Snapdragon, you have San Diego Wave, who wasn't at Snapdragon. They were all the way across the continental United States in New York City against Gotham. They win 1-0. Kimi Ascanio ascending to the top of the pedigree for San Diego Wave as they march on and are in second. They are in second place in the NWSL after this weekend. They get a very well-deserved day off. They will be coming back here in San Diego and Snapdragon and having a game of their own on Sunday. Seasons greetings. No
sponsorship.
Is it? No, it's not. Recover was the name of it. Shout out. Like,
have you ever had Gin Week though?
I don't drink a lot of.
Oh, dude, it's
stuff.
great. It's actually really good.
So kind of like Recover. It was pretty dope. Season's greetings to everybody who's welcoming into your phone wherever you are watching. It's a cool little.
Some people watch on TV. Actually,
this is the show of the insiders. The show that the insiders watch for soccer in San Diego. Legitimately, it's kind of insane. Some people that just kind of tune in, and I want to say thank you to everybody who tunes in. And some new stuff is kind of in development for San Diego Football, San Diego Football, just in general. More coverage, more friends, more pals, more people to talk San Diego soccer with.
Look at that, watching on TV right now.
Darn tootin', that's awesome.
Me too.
I always like how much of that TV am I taking? Like I take like it's
a lot of TV.
A lot of TV.
A lot of soccer happening this week in San Diego.
Yeah,
like you were mentioning, a lot of games.
100%.
We're gonna get into all that, but
we do have a pal, a friend, a confidant, a editor-in-chief who honestly has risen to the ranks himself and has appeared on a show as well, part of the San Diego Football family, part of the San Diego Football team.
And you see
alongside besides just a couple of pals. But this guy is great at what he does. He's making radio appearances without consulting with either of us.
Hey,
he doesn't need
COO,
to. He doesn't need to.
You can do
He's
whatever
making
you want.
this name for himself, and he is a trailblazer all on his own.
Editor-in-chief.
The young blood for San Diego Football, Abraham Cepeda. What an intro. What an intro.
What up, babe?
Wow, thank you. Quite the intro this week. Glad to be on the show.
What an intro to just get a wow.
All right.
Thank
wow.
you.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's who
Wow,
it is.
let's go. Come on,
True.
San Diego Soccer. San Diego FC, San Diego Wave playing their best soccer ever? ? It's time to talk about it.
This is the age I
best.
need.
10 minutes in sports in San Diego.
I forgot to tell you guys something cool. I guess I'll say it right now.
Okay.
Next week we'll have a guest appearance on the podcast.
Cool. I love how we booked this show. It's just you literally just told me. I love
just
this.
Next week, guest appearance. Person in charge of City SC San Diego to talk about the season kicking off
love
for
it.
City SC in USL 2.
Okay.
So we're gonna have
okay.
him on to talk a little bit about City SC joining the USL
Hey.
league format. So we'll have that incoming next week.
Soccer in San Diego. Just the fact that I know how that happened.
Yeah,
Makes me laugh and giggle.
there's a group chat text that
You were
Very
forced on.
interesting.
Were you put in a group chat like, hey, I'm just connecting you guys?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we will connect everybody with that. We are also, by the way, Abe, coming in hot. There is going to be a event happening at the end of June that we're going to go ahead and be a part of. The details are still getting worked out, but we're going to be in collaboration and partnership. I don't know what the exact language is going to be with KPBS, with their series that they've been doing on Instagram through their social media for La Frontera Soccer Project. They're going to have a culminating event with soccer in San Diego State, and then they're going to welcome some people in into KPBS. That's literally where
fangirling right now.
that's
dude.
literally where Elmo lives, and I could not be more excited.
Have you guys seen Elmo's Indeed page?
I thought Elmo was on Netflix now.
Well,
you still find
you
him
know
at
what?
PBS?
Elmo is currently looking for employment.
I think he found some.
And
Oh,
Netflix,
that's
yeah, no, they
great.
just got it. That's pretty good.
That's freaking great.
Alongside,
I'm looking for Arthur, honestly.
you know, just the juxtaposing scroll of somebody's chaotic algorithm on Netflix, where it's like how to something murder, Dexter, Sesame Street, like just it's
Suggestions
I
for
love
you.
that.
Let's dive into gold scabs and grades, shall
All right,
we?
let's
We have a
go
lot of
ahead.
soccer to talk about this week. Let's dive into some gold scabs and grades.
All right. So some debates happened internally for San Diego Football's goal of the week. And you know, Abe, you're not in studio tonight. So this debate was between Shiva and I to what the goal of the week was. And we'll open it up to people who are watching us here on the wherever it is that you're watching on Instagram. They're not because I hadn't clicked live on Instagram. So you can impossible for you to be from Instagram. But two options. Number one was Brandon Vasquez, San Diego native, who scored a golazo. Well, what Chiva considers a golazo from the free kick position. Have you seen this goal?
I think I have, but I want to see it again.
All right, let's see it again. Chiva, bájale poquito el volumen primero.
Huh?
There you go. All right, let's go ahead and just
That reaction says it all from Abe.
all right.
That was good.
So that's good.
I love it when the keeper gets a piece of it too, because it's like, oh, the keeper knew. The keeper had a chance, but still, it was just that good that he couldn't stop it. All right. This might be a me thing, but they might have disappeared. And are you guys still live? Hello? You guys there?
Are we here?
Yeah.
Are we here?
Are we here?
Was I here?
We're
Maybe I
live?
messed up.
You were here.
We're here.
No, trust me, you were here.
Oh.
You're always here in our hearts. Sue High
Because that
lives.
is got a Wi-Fi, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyways,
Landon Donovan is trying to tell you to pay your Wi-Fi bill.
we need to have him back on.
Yeah.
You have his
Promote his podcast. He has the probably like top 5 podcasts in the country right
An
now.
up and coming podcast from this local. It's technically a local.
So that was
So
the
that's
first
option one.
option.
All right. So option one is Brandon Vasquez, who again scored a good free kick goal. The second option then leads me to put Kimi Ascanio's goal.
Teammate Ascanio looking, and she's got another. San Diego leads. It's her third goal of the last 4 games.
Now, this goal, at first
Well,
glance,
teamwork makes the dream work here. Look at all the numbers that Gotham could
may
make.
not be
Mascherano off
as
the dribble. She inverts into a
impressive on,
central
again,
position,
first
gathers
glance.
all of Gotham's players in that central area, and that leaves Gotham.
But the
San
way
Diego
that
the
Ascanio
opportunity
just
for
scooped
2v1 on
past
the
this with their
outside, and Kimi
outside of the
Ascanio
foot.
has no chill for this San Diego.
And
guys.
just-
What's that defender supposed to do?
Into the penalty
Right?
area. But look at this finish.
I want to hear
Look at
somebody
that.
tell me
So
how to
clever,
defend that better.
So difficult.
Literally.
The goalkeeper.
It's a really good goal.
Yeah. I think looking back at both, I am going to agree with you, Tony. Give it to Ascanio just because it's a game-winning goal. It's her third goal in a third straight match. 17 years old, killing it for San Diego Wave. And yeah, that goal is just difficult. I mean, we can probably see Brandon Vasquez score another free kick this season, but that Kimi Ascanio goal to take on a defender one-on-one and then that flick is not easy.
No.
It's not easy. So I agree. Abe, do you agree? Let's give it to
Playback
Kimi
said-
Ascanio.
Honestly, I think I'd honestly vote the Brandon Vasquez one because that free kick was far too. Like it wasn't like just outside the box; it was pretty far from outside the box. But
Good thing is our show, our rules. We can have 2 goals of the week
So,
if we want
which
to,
is
and we
fine.
have in the past.
The thing about the Brandon Vasquez goal was the thing that you actually like, Abe. The fact that the goalkeeper got a touch on it actually is
Hayes.
what brings it down for me
Oh.
because that means that the goalkeeper
don't-
should have done better.
Important of Kiki's goal, but if we're going for golazo, it has to be Brandon's.
Yeah, I vote for I vote Brandon.
Ooh. Well, good thing we can have 2, and we'll let the people
I'm
decide.
okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Well, yeah, that's our
For right now,
goals
those are the
of
2
week.
goals of the week.
Let's move on to our great of the week.
All right. So the great of the week is actually going to be, we were again discussing in a
Yeah.
heated debate here
not
at the,
heated, not heated.
at the Two Balls and a Mic studio because we like to have some healthy back and forth. And so the grade of the week for me or for Chiva was Kimi Ascanio once again, which was last week's grade of the week.
Have we ever had a back-to-back grade of the week?
I think we have, and it might have been
Probably.
a San Diego Wave player, I believe.
Alex Morgan, maybe?
like maybe Penalex time. Look at Roy's free kick. What he's doing? Yeah, that's right. That matchup happened, and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
LA Galaxy here in Snapdragon this upcoming weekend as well. They're both very different but great themselves. All right, so the good, the good debate was Kimi Ascanio. All right, cool, great, fantastic.
Good
A
shout.
different position, which we'll get to because I asked what Abe calls a I don't even know what you called it. You said that it's my fault that Kimi Ascanio was not in the striker position because I asked him on like, hey dude,
I thought it was funny.
You've been playing here at the striker on the 9 position, and then he's like, oh, okay, you think that's good? Watch this, and just throws her on the left wing and scores the game-winning goal.
Kills it.
So great of the week shout for Kimi Ascanio. However, we forget there was 2 games for San Diego FC, 2 at home. Chiva, you for a little bit forgot
Yeah, I
But this
forget
did
the
happen.
save.
over at Snapdragon Stadium.
Predominantly going to the right in his last 9 attempts from the spot. What will he do here? We're now in the 73rd minute of the game. Behind him is Whitlock. Saved by CJ Dos Santos. The ball's still free, but now it's collected. They don't even have to.
Damn.
Okay, hear me out. It's not the best penalty shot. It's not the best penalty shot, but I'll give my hats to CJ Dos Santos. It's his first penalty stop in MLS, at least for San Diego FC. Back-to-back clean sheets. Okay, se la doy al morro también, pues.
Did
You
everything you
can't-
should have.
They're both great shouts. Both great. This was a very difficult thing to choose between goal of the week or grade of the week. So,
Abe, what do you
what
think?
do you think?
I
Yeah.
think it's interesting because this is the second time he's faced a goal penalty from this specific player too, not just this team, this player. He guessed right the first time as well. Missed the chance, but took this time, had the confidence. You could see it in his eyes. Like, I'm going to save this. Like, if you rewatch like the whole thing, he doesn't even care that a penalty was conceded. Sometimes you see like, okay, well, there's gonna be a penalty. The keeper's like, oh no. He wanted this penalty. He was so ready for it, and he saved it. I thought that was a really cool save. And then also getting that save, like Esteban said, while the number 10 of, I don't know how to say that last name. It's a very hard last name.
Mihailovic.
Mihailovic. Okay, there you go. It was very hard save to run back and save that. So it's a good time. And then he also gets a 0-0 draw next game. So it's maybe it is CJ Los Santos' time. Because Kimi Ascanio, but I don't know.
No, I like the little poke here that our pal the real swinging friar is giving you, like, oh, but if it was the wave keeper, Kaylin Sheridan
makes saves before.
She's done it, and she's earned it, and she's absolutely earned it, and
she's
guess
the
what?
captain.
I'm giving enough. I'm always a little harder and harsher on goalkeepers.
God forbid we give a little praise to women in soccer, huh? Swinging friar. My bad.
Wait, tranquilo. Relax.
You're not up with the trends right now, huh?
The trends,
The trends.
the
You're not up with
choo-choo.
You're
I'm
not
not
up
on
with
the
the
choo-choo
trends right
trend.
now.
But no, I mean, it's a great stop. It was a great performance. He's deserved it, and it meant a lot to the kid. We talked to him Friday at training about it, and just the actual mental aspects that it takes. It's as good as it gets. It's as good as it gets for a goalkeeper in that situation. But yeah, I mean, it's a good shout. By the way, looking up here, also not looking away. Inter had Inter 7-4. They won UPSL SoCal South.
Chris Ribbett is back.
7-4.
The legendary Chris Ribbett is
Mr.
back.
Ribbett.
Mr. Chicano futsal, some would call.
My brother, don't even worry.
Dude, you had deja vu the other day. I literally just had it right now. It's
nice.
like hit me, and like I
went like
remembered
this?
you. I don't even. It was actually you putting the coming back to LA, bro.
Jeez, I don't think so
he's se queda. Definitely. I did want to share a couple of the images. I know Esteban was talking about that halfway goal, and I mean, just how impressive that was. And that's a style that he's at risk for. It's not his fault he's all the way up there. That's just the style that tells him to be all the way up there. Like his heat map, if you showed Dos Santos and just the modern goalkeeper heat map to a goalkeeper, even in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, they would laugh at you because what are
meltdown
you, a player? Like what's going on? But the fact that he has to be able to salvage and come on back and have these shots from halfway that he's gonna have to save and face here and there, like it's gonna be a matter of time before somebody scores 100%.
Can we get a comparison of CJ Dos Santos heat map to Coque Vegas for Loyal?
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty crazy, actually.
Procrastinating Puma, get on it.
But yeah, no. So good thing it's our show. We get to have two greats of the weeks if we want to. But no, I mean, let us know. I mean, I'm down to give it to CJ Dos Santos. I mean, back-to-back clean sheets, first penalty save. So, and the good thing is, I don't know if it's a good thing, but I don't know if anyone can tell us in the chat, but we couldn't find a gaff of the week. I think this is the first time we don't have a gaff, and we've tried really hard to look for something. Someone let us know if we missed something, but as of now, Abe, Tony, I don't know if you guys can think of anything last minute, but I can't think of a gaff that happened in San Diego soccer this week.
Which is great. I mean,
is a good thing.
That's great in a whole week, and very much good job on every single part, right? San Diego Wave doing what they have to do, bouncing back, and really, you okay?
Yeah, there's a little fruit fly flying around.
Oh, okay. Well, stop bringing those with you. But yeah, if there was a point that's people, and this is going to come up eventually, and this is only a matter of time before it becomes a story. Right now, Abe and I we were talking about how much of a non-story this is right now. This is not us making.
I said that, but it's a non-story, but it's always a story at the same time.
Always a story. It's only a matter of time, right? Like it's a ticking time bomb. And what we're talking about is these Snapdragon field conditions.
We're
So
back talking about this.
So it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a yearly thing for sure. Unless something gets.
Is that guy still working?
I can do some investigating, but I really don't feel like it just yet.
Oh man.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Okay.
No, he didn't get in trouble. That's that we know of.
I don't know, and frankly, I could care less.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Take it. You were talking.
I mean, I just hope we didn't get the guy in trouble. I forgot his name, to be honest. But
Okay.
if we can get him back on the pod to talk about
Moving
it,
on.
if it becomes a story, great. But the field sucks again, right?
Does it, Chiva?
Does it?
I
I
mean,
mean,
tell
I
me,
saw
you-
it this
those are your
weekend,
words.
and to me, it felt like it looked a little heavy. Godoy didn't have the best game. His passes were a little off, which
Mhm.
doesn't really happen. It could be that it was a back-to-back game over the week, 2 games in 1 week, but I don't know. It didn't look the best. Optics-wise, it didn't look bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like playing on it is not the best.
Well, this is why I lobbed it to you, because you're the one that wasn't at training. Abe and I were on
Mhm.
Friday when head coach Mikey Varas, in between these 2 games, was kind of brought this up. Somebody asked him, "Hey, what about these field conditions? Like, it's clearly something that's going to be a story at some point. Once again, they have the lights, the grow lights, but there's only so much that can do for potholes and sand on it, and it's something that Captain Yepes Verskov was also speaking about. The answers were given by Yepe, and who else was it? Patty?
CJ Dos Santos, but he didn't really. He kind of was like, "Hey, both teams have to play on it. It's not really that big a deal," which is surprising to me because I think it looks probably the worst for the goalkeepers because they're always in that area.
Mhm.
But he had nothing to say about it, which
And
good
I
on him.
agree. It was worse last year, 100% at this point.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there is some improvement. And again, not to completely just poo-poo on it, but yeah, there's some improvement. But nonetheless,
Let's not forget the Legion also played on it a lot.
there
So,
was another team, Legion, who tragically seems like they're on the brink of elimination or just got eliminated. But it's not necessarily that bad right now. However, there are those early signs. There are 2 or 3 other fields in Escondido just ready to be placed.
Mikey Varas had some words about it, right, as well?
Mhm.
And it wasn't the most positive, as I recall, Tony.
Abe, do you think?
He was pretty diplomatic about it. I think he said, it's
He
a
was
partnership.
about to go in it. He was about to, but I think he also, nuestro amigo Tomás was
Su jefe,
was
no?
su jefe was in the
Yeah,
back.
so I mean
just,
that's the thing, right? Like it really did seem like Mikey Varas wanted to go off and say, hey, like, yeah, the field's not the best. Like we require the best in order to play the right to dream ball. But then on the other hand, you have Tom Penn that keeps emphasizing that this is a soccer specific stadium. But if it was a soccer specific stadium, then the grass should be up to the quality that San Diego FC and San Diego Wave need it to be, right? So I think there's some controversy here within the club themselves. I think I could see a world where Tom Penn has a conversation with Mikey Varas and said, you can't talk about the stadium anymore, or you can't talk about the field like that anymore. So I hope that's not the case, but I'm all for Mikey. I mean, I love Mikey Varas and how he communicates in press conferences. He's always very honest. He's always very upfront. And I think you both agree with that. I think it's been fun being able to talk to him during the week and on weekends. But him bringing this up kind of early in the season, it's a concern. I mean, unless, like you said, Tony, there's brand new fields in Escondido ready to be switched off.
And that's the thing. Those to switch those fields costs approximately $400,000 to move field A to field B. Like that's the cost of it. So what you're asking is San Diego State to pay $400,000 to do that, and then are you asking San Diego FC to pay some of that? Are they paying half with San Diego Wave? How much of the cost is comes on them? But again, they're not the landlords. Landlord is San Diego State. We're renting a premium facility with everything included. It's like, say a door has a hole in it and you tell your landlord, hey, there's some animals coming in through it, I need that fixed, and your landlord's like, I'll get to it.
Yeah, that's my landlord right now. Like,
Or you can sorry.
No, it's fine.
Or you can do it upon yourself, but then what? You go out and you take care of that, then that's money out of your pocket. That's on top of the rent that you're paying. So a lot of just layers to this eventual thing. And I know it gets people fired up, but I think unfortunately the reality is this conversation is going to take a really important turn until somebody gets hurt.
And the thing is something to
People
also
have gotten hurt.
people have gotten hurt.
Okay, Megan Rapinoe, yes, I to like the first
One
one
of the
that
greatest soccer players of all time, Megan
in
Rapinoe.
the NWSL Championship. all eyes on
Uh,
Snapdragon Stadium. That's a pretty notable one for sure.
Something you also have to consider, right,
Mhm.
is when it comes to planning season-long field conditions, right? I don't know if SDSU had it in their plans that SDFC would be a playoff team this season. So now you have to consider, okay, SDFC may have to play longer
Mhm.
this season because they're proving that they're going to be an MLS playoff team with possible home field advantage in playoffs. So I had a couple extra games now to the season. So now you have to plan ahead and say, okay, when's the best time to switch the fields? So the field's at its absolute best when it comes to playoffs. So it's a tricky situation. It sucks for San Diego FC and San Diego Wave because they're both having a great season so far.
Yeah.
Both teams looking like they're probably going to be in playoffs. Both teams looking like they might have home field advantage as well. It's still very early in the season to call. But as of now, the way it's looking that way.
So guys, and guess what? There's going to be some great Gold Cup action coming to you to Snapdragon Stadium with
Saudi
powers
Arabia?
like Saudi Arabia, Suriname, and Guadalupe.
Costa Rica? No, not Costa Rica. Costa Rica would be great to watch.
Was
I
it
mean, a
Panama?
lot-
I thought it was Panama.
Panama. Oh, it's a Godoy homecoming. I love it. So yeah, those are additional games on there. Again, just kind of keep an eye on that.
I
As the
think they're
future
going to
moves.
replace it after the Shakira concert on June 26th.
Let's keep-
Shakira.
You heard it here first, Abe. Keeping his eyes on Shakira for her passing through
It's
Africa. All right. Sounds
Well,
good. So
that's
with that,
Gold
it's-
Scouts and
it's
Greats
Gold
for you
Scouts and
guys.
Greats. Thank you guys. We'll go ahead and switch it into some San Diego FC. Yeah. I really don't care for copyright. Is everything okay with you?
No, it's
Mr.
work.
Director?
Work.
Mr.
Yeah, no,
Director?
no,
I
vale
know.
madre.
Yeah. I don't have to clock in or out anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
I'm
got
so
staff
cool.
texting me at 8:30
What,
p.m.
24/7. What up, Brandon? See,
What up,
cool.
Brandon?
People
Brandon's
like
still in
Brandon.
Hawaii? Shout out Brandon.
Still in Hawaii after a whole week. That's great.
Nobody's going to
nice.
go to those Gold Cup games. Hey, we might need somebody to help us cover those games. We'll be in SoFi watching Mexico.
Mexico.
Villa Stadium next to the new Gaylord Resort. It's looking mighty premium.
Oh,
By the
that-
way,
that resort
hold on,
looks
hold
pretty
on.
great.
Time out. Abe, do you know anybody that works there?
No, I might actually. I think I might.
Like statistically, like almost everybody in the South Bay will know somebody that works there.
I do.
That's
Like,
My-
it's
my
just
sister's
such a
girlfriend works
massive-
there. Yeah,
It's just such a massive
800
project.
employees right now.
It's incredible
Trying
what
to
they
get to
have over there.
1,600 employees.
Oh my goodness. They're already running. But yeah. All right. So San Diego FC. So San Diego FC come back into Snapdragon Stadium and they have themselves a game lined up on a Wednesday for the first time ever. A half week game, a midweek game. And you know, this is a first, another first, one of the few firsts. I think we're running out of firsts for San Diego FC.
No, there's so many still.
Okay. There's still so many. So one of them is the first Wednesday
No han
game.
ganado 4-0.
They have won 5-0, but
Yeah, not 4-0.
the lineup for San Diego FC against Colorado Rapids, CJ Dos Santos in the goalkeeping position. Going right to left, we have Willie Kumalo, number 2, Chris McVeigh, 97. El número 17, is it 17?
yeah,
is he-
17.
oh,
Patty
that-
McNair.
You know what? That's a Philip Rivers. That's Philip Rivers. That's a good number for Patty, actually.
I don't like that as a center back number though. That's too high for a center back. You either got to be like 90s or like 17. That's a weird center back number in my opinion.
I don't like that. The only defender number on here is number 2, Willie Kamado.
Really. And he was saved that. Like he joined later.
Yeah, he
and so
joined
like
later,
they
too.
saved number 2 for him.
Which is fine.
Luca Bombino in the left back position. You have Anibal Godoy, Yepes Sverskov, Luca de la Torre, the Eternals, in the center mid position. And then you have Chucky on the left wing, Dreyer back into the middle, and then Alex Maitin making his return on the right. The same lineup that started the 5-0 game.
Is this the strongest lineup up to date? Is this the best 11 that San Diego FC can put on the field right now?
Without
Yes.
Marcus and Varson, yes,
Right now,
correct.
yes.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah, I agree. I still would love to see Milan Iloski get a chance to start on top and then Dreyer at the right wing. I love Alex Maitin. I love everything that he brings to the game. I love the speed. I love the drills, the dribbling that he has.
Mhm.
But I still think Iloski gives you that poacher number 9 striker that you need to be successful.
Mhm.
So yes, but I would love to see what they can do with Iloski between Chucky and Dreyer.
Yeah, I mean that's left to be seen, really, and
Mhm.
I'm not sure why Mikey hasn't gone that direction. Has Iloski started or just earned a starting position?
I think so.
Sure, yes. Like
would say so.
I don't see anything that says otherwise. I think that's the best way I can say that is and phrase it. Like Iloski hasn't given you a reason not to start him, but has he given you enough of a reason to start? And for Mikey Varas, it's not the case right now. But again, giving that opportunity to Alex Maitin, how do you fit him in him?
Fun topic right here.
Can we talk about Lofosen and Negri being completely gone now and not complaining though? That's
I will
true.
say, Luca Bombino, class. He's
Yeah.
the best. He's the best at the left back position. I do gotta say that right back position is very competitive. You have Willy Camado, you have Verhoeven, who started last over the weekend, and then Lofelsen, who didn't do a bad job. He also he did a good job when he started early in the season. So I think it's a good problem to have for Mikey Varas. 3 players that are playing at a really good level in that right back position. On the left back, however, I think it's Luca Bombino, Hamadi Diop, and then Negri. Kind of like where the rankings stand, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're seeing. Just like I think I've alluded to this a couple of times in a couple of weeks, the separation of oil and water, like the starting 11 and then the bench players, the reserve players, and everybody from there on. Season's greetings, Murphy, Victor. But that's what's happening right now. Bombino clearly doing his part, and we actually got to hear from him after the game last Saturday. After that game, that 0-0 Sporting game, and reminding us, like,
Good kids.
no, legitimately just looked at us and looked at the press and was like, guys, I'm 18. Like, he's pretty much like, it's sometimes I have to remind people, like, I'm 18. But, you know, a good head on that kid, Luca Bombino. But yeah, the beginning of this match, do you have anything about that, about the lineup, anything else?
No, I think you guys covered it all. It didn't look like it was a heavily attended game. I know they're competing with a Padres game and it's a midweek game, but I mean, first rematch against Colorado, I expected a win.
I don't know. They announced what 22,000.
The official number.
Did they announce 22,000?
The official number, and I'm looking at it right now. Officially, here with your referees Lorenzo Hernandez, Felicia Mariscal, Stephen McNagel, Timothy Ford. Weather sunny, 67 degrees, and the attendance 22,361.
That's the
was the
biggest. That's insulting.
So they get to announce that because that's ballpark on how many season tickets they've sold as well. So
Officially,
every game they're going to be announcing over 20K.
attendance in that stadium was 22,361. We have seen what 22,000 plus, give or take 23,000 looks like. I'm hard pressed to believe that was anywhere near that, and I would guess a little bit closer to 18,000. With that said, it wasn't a bad showing. People were there. I will give credit to Frontera San Diego because they came out and they were very well represented, and through the game you can almost tell, at least for Frontera San Diego, that it was a midweek game because these are working class people for the most part. These are a lot of working class individuals that pay their hard-earned money, that give their time to go and support a team, and they have to pay money out of their own pocket. And on a weekday, well, guess where the money comes from? The jobs that they have to work, and they go after and still use that as a outlet for them, and they showed out. So shout out to Frontera San Diego. But not a bad showing considering it was a giveaway day also at the Padres. All things considered, it wasn't 22,000. Good 18,000 plus. It wasn't 22,000.
Yeah, I mean it sounded good, but
It sounded good. It sounded good, and it was fantastic. It was fine. Like it was okay. Just not that. I don't like being duped or just que me vean la cara or trying to verme la cara.
And
That's-
I mean, again, that's how many tickets they sold.
And that's why I like how the San
could
Diego
say
Sockers
that.
do it. That's how I like San Diego Sockers do it. San Diego Sockers always announce butts and seats, even if it's a little. Even if it's a little, they announce butts and seats. More sports teams to do that, but that's just across the board in sports. And it's not San Diego FC, it's not Snapdragon. It's just
yeah.
across sports. That's just the reality of it.
Just
So
look at the Marlins attendance numbers; they're insane.
thousands. You can't for every San Diego Internacional UPSL game that we do at Mission Bay High School. At some point, I'll throw in, we are at a capacity crowd. There's a waiting line of people outside waiting to get tickets.
Because there is.
And I mean, it's incredible what they have over there. But all right, back to San Diego FC. The action started, and they came out and really wanted to respond to what Colorado did to them up in altitude, and you can tell there's a difference. And this San Diego FC seemed very different. You see here a good stop by Stefan, just difficult because of the conditions of the field. San Diego FC, because of the right to dream play style, likes to play fast, and you see those patches on the field. That is, moisture. The sprinklers are on. They were just on. So the beginning of the game, the ball is very, very, very slick and slippery. So that's a really good stop there by Stefan. And Stefan was going to be somebody who I was looking at to see what his contribution was going to be to this match, because he's a really good keeper in really good form.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, he definitely showed out last time San Diego FC played against them. So this is something that they talked about probably and said, all right, we definitely had to shoot a lot more against Colorado, something we didn't do last time we played them. And boy, did they deliver that. 28 shots, 9 on target this game.
And right out the gate, like San Diego FC just kept attacking. There was a chance right here they just saw where there was a collision with Chucky Lozano. And look, I'll give it to Chucky. Like, he's putting his body on the line for this team. He's going into those 50-50s. He's putting his,
he's always played.
He's caution to the wind, getting himself, a little touched, a little hurt. But that's just part of the game, for him. He gives it your all. So that's what you love to see.
There's a reason why he's always getting injured. It's because he gives 110% into the plays. Like we saw it last weekend too, and we'll talk about it, the head injury, but he will die on that field if he has to. Like, that's the type of player, that's the type of soccer person that he is, and he's willing to do it. Like, he'll get a cut and cut his head open if it means winning the ball. And I mean, that's why you paid $12 million for.
And this is one of Godoy's better offensive games, where he just kept trying. Here after that collision, Godoy having 2 chances, he's still going for it with one to the left, one with the right. And then a couple of minutes later, one of my favorite plays so far for San Diego FC that unfortunately doesn't end up in a goal. You have it right here. Good, just dragging everybody into the middle. Chucky Lozano, a little bit of a setup in the air, and then Godoy just measuring it, just wants it. And we've seen him do it a couple of times this season. And I don't know, man, like this, everything that I've heard from Godoy and how he's a veteran, he's this, he's that, he's found the fountain of youth, but this dude seems to be in his prime in a lot of these games. Maybe not the Kansas City game, but he is leading by example.
Yeah, Abe, what do you like about Godoy right now?
I think he just looks comfortable out there, and then when you have a player like Jeppe Verskov behind you, I think there's a lot of confidence in your teammate to be like, okay, Godoy usually can play back and be defensive, but knowing that Jeppe's behind him, he's able to go up and take these chances, take these shots, and then your forwards are drawing all the attention, and he has like such a strong shot that he's been like getting so many of these chances. I think he's not a player that usually scores goals. If you look at his like general stats over the course of his career, he only has like a couple, but he's gonna score a couple more, I think, with San Diego FC if he keeps performing like this, and if the attention keeps going towards all the forwards.
This is a good point here by Chris in the comments. The Chucky run across the top of the box seems hard solved. Hard solved for they're throwing 3 defenders at him as he cuts into the box, and it's just one of my favorite things to say. Like it's just the stubbornness of an attacker, right? Like you're trying to go through matter. You're trying to go through legs and force your way through the defenders. You're never going to do that, and if you do, it's 1 out of 12 times, 20 times. But the thing about this is that yes, you were going to get that regardless, but you don't have Marcus Invarsson to be that person who also draws maybe 1 defender away, because Chucky getting defended by 3 is much different than him getting defended by 2. He can get past 2 much easier than he can get past 3, because it's a triangle where you just kind of lock him down from each angle. He can't turn back, he can't move forward, he can't pivot because there's somebody there. If it's 2 people, at least he has 2 parallel sides to kind of have an out with, or just have a little bit of breathing room. But Marcus Invarsson isn't there to have that support for him. So not saying Dreger's doing a bad job. It's just not his natural position to be able to do that. But that's exactly what you see on the other side with Alex Mighten too. That's exactly Alex Mighten's style. He gets the ball, runs forward, gets the ball, runs forward, gets the ball, runs forward, cuts inside, but into the defender. And for the most part, it works. And you see it almost work in this play that Godoy also handles or tries to get out the end of it too. Godoy starts it right over here, opens it up to Mighten, cuts in, tries to shoot in between 3. Good job taking the shot. That's good. You're getting that rebound, opening up that space. Luka gets it back, sets up Godoy, and then Godoy once again a little chorrito shot, but knocking on that door. 30 minutes into it, Colorado has done nothing at this point. They've done nothing. They are nowhere to be seen. 3 minutes later, corner, and then you have Chris McVey, who is quietly becoming one of the, if not, I would say one of the most important players for San Diego FC in their history.
Yeah,
I think.
Go ahead, Abe.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to set pieces, he has to be involved just with being a big body and able to getting ahead on that. But Yepes Verskov on the front post with the amazing flick. Like, I think it was the Austin game where there were just a million corner kicks, and you could tell Yepes Verskov just kept getting the ball. And I think that's just, he just has so much class that they trust him. Those corner kicks are always going to be coming in his general direction, so he can kind of send it back. But yeah, he's drawing all the attention forward. McVey wide open, just tapping it in. It's just such a great flick too. It's so hard to do.
And he's done that. He did it against Kansas City. He scored from this position. He's hit the crossbar. He's hit the woodwork. He's got it on target. Like, this is a definite weapon that San Diego FC has with Yepes Verskov.
Yeah, so when you have a player that knows how to flick the ball like that, you're going to use it to your advantage. I mean, we've seen so many great players throughout history being able to do that, right? I mean, for Chivas fans, if you know Masa Rodriguez, Tony, like he used to do that all the time for Chivas. Super tall center back that knew how to flick the ball, and eventually scored a goal like that in that final in 2006 against Toluca, and we all remember it very well. But yeah, so Yep is very good at doing that. He's bound to score a goal like that. And I mean, it's something that you can tell they've been practicing, and we always do a good job in this podcast to highlight when teams are doing a great job.
Yeah.
And they've been practicing that, and they're doing such a great job at finishing in those set pieces.
It's the little details. It really is the little details. You see it be spoken of with Jonas Eideval and just like kind of inside knowledge of what they're doing in training. When he came in, he focused on the things like throw-ins. Like you'd never really think of throw-ins in practice and training, but those can be choreographed. Those can be planned. That's something that a lot of teams overlook. And so with this, right, like a simple run, stick to the basics, a simple run to the near post, get the ball there, create some chaos inside the box, or just let it go through. You still create some chaos, and something's bound to happen. So, yeah, there's a lot to discuss there. Just before that one, the tech ball setup, that's exactly what that was. It's that little foot tennis.
Up with that all the time.
You see it at training. They have it, and it's a great resource to have. It's a 3D. I love it when you just stop and think, wait, where do we put Abe?
Oh, Abe. He'd leave?
All right.
All right, Abe. You'll join back.
It's all good. But one of my favorite things sometimes is that you forget.
Where do we put
Um,
Yeah.
we forget that soccer's a 3D game, right? So like with the tech ball setup, with that setup and the volley in the air, like it's incredible what is possible through this match. So it's really cool to see that. About this conversation, is CJ Dos Santos a top 5 goalie in the league? Esteban Toscano, good stats here, definitely in the conversation. 6 clean sheets, 74.2 save percentage average. It's a really good save. I know that going into the game against Sporting, he was tied for most clean sheets, for second place for most clean sheets in the MLS across the league. So
Yeah,
100%.
There's
I agree.
8 teams with 6 clean sheets right now.
Mhm.
I'm not too sure if they're all with the same goalkeeper. I know San Diego FC is. It's in the conversation. I think I wouldn't put him top 5. You also have to respect some of the names that are in the league. But
Mhm.
it's not a crazy thing to throw out there. Like,
Yeah.
he's playing good. Nobody expected CJ Dos Santos to be this good for San Diego FC. And he's told us at training, Tony, he's constantly having to prove people wrong, and he uses that as fuel. And when a player, a goalkeeper, has that as motivation and fuel, he's going to do some dangerous things.
Just don't give a player a reason to outplay you. Don't give a player a reason to don't be the reason a player does well. Essentially, like, don't motivate people more than you need to, unless that's your player. So or your teammate. So just resort to what you want. But I like that CJ Dos Santos is really coming onto his own and shutting mouths up in the long run. So I would have to agree. He is top 5 right now. Hard for me to look elsewhere and say, yeah, there's 5 other goalkeepers that are better than him at this moment.
I think we might be down right now, Tony.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
and we keep going.
we keep going.
We keep it going.
But yeah, CJ Dos Santos definitely being a very good goalkeeper this season and proving a lot of people wrong for sure. So I'm entering the studio again, but I think we video frozen, audio good. They still hear us, but video's
Cool.
frozen. So haha.
All good. We make it work. We make it happen. You don't want to see our ugly mugs anyway. All right. Yeah, no, Abe is just like in there somewhere.
Were you able to
what
send
is
Abe the link?
point I did through socials. I love seeing McVay and McNair both up in those set pieces. Hell, if one of them straight up did an attacker dribble into a long shot on Saturday, and I was amped. No, McVay loves to do those runs, and I actually asked him after this match, like, he gets the freedom to do those things. And so he gets the freedom to go and make those deep runs through the middle. But yeah, I just have a still of Tony in his iconic 04 set.
We got motion right now.
We got
Yeah,
motion.
we're just blurry.
We
It's
got
not-
motion in the ocean. Motion
again.
in the ocean.
Cox Internet's changing plans on Tony.
I
So
need that optic fiber for sure.
Yeah.
Have you checked online on like the YouTube page? I mean, I would have started there.
yeah, we're on there, but it's all blurry. So but yeah, I mean, we can continue talking about
Yeah,
the
no,
game.
100%. Let's continue talking about the game. So, have San Diego FC 1-0 up. They are continuing and insisting. A mistake by Zach Steffen giving up the ball, and this is, this, I think it can be potentially a gaffe. This play right here, Alex Mighton has the entire goal to himself, and is unable to put it away. Put it right there. Let's see. Yeah. So Alex Mighton had the entire goal to himself, but unable to put it away. Here in the 40th minute, by por ahí, San Diego FC gets a little bit sloppy in transition. And then 43rd minute was when they try against CJ Dos Santos.
No se ve el video.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm gonna throw Abe in here.
Yeah, Abe, you're gonna anchor this.
What's up,
Okay.
Abe?
Sounds good. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Can you
welcome
see?
back.
There we go.
Can you see us?
Yeah, we don't need to be a video show. We're also an audio show. We have our roots in radio. Come on, we can focus on just our voices if you'd like.
100%. Yeah, but I mean, again, we're talking about Cito Santos. Is he top 5 in the league right now? I mean, he does this crazy save. But again, it's those mistakes that you get playing the right to dream ball, right? Sometimes you're going to give away the ball, and it's going to put your goalkeeper in a very difficult situation. Luckily, CJ Dos Santos proving to be a very good goalkeeper and makes saves like this. But yeah, San UFC goes into halftime with a 1-0 lead against Colorado. It's a good position to be in. I don't know how everyone felt being at halftime in this.
Yeah, I think you guys cut out, but it's definitely a very good position to be in, especially with the way Colorado was playing. It just felt like they really had no chances. Maybe they would have gotten lucky on like one counterattack, but there was like really nothing there for Colorado. And they're a team that's kind of carried by their goalkeeper, which you don't see a lot of. So Cito Santos might be top 5, but he gets a lot of help from his defense and the midfield from limiting any major chances. Whereas you have a team like Colorado, he had 26 shots against them. And if anything, Zach Steffen's lucky. I think XG ended up being around like 4 for this game. So like this is a really good like goalkeeper. I think generally America creates good goalkeepers, right?
Yes,
Would you
100%.
guys agree?
That's
Yeah.
one of their
And
strong suits.
Cito
Brad
Santos,
Guzan.
Cito Santos, Zach Steffen, clear examples of that. Zach Steffen, honestly, probably gonna see him in the Gold Cup. We should see him in the Gold Cup, and Cito Santos could have that in his future. And also something I asked Cito Santos about, like, do you like playing 3 games in a week? Because I think it's interesting. Like a lot of these other players are getting tired. Are you gonna be tired as a goalkeeper? Are you gonna be like exhausted? He was kind of like, I live for this. He wants to be in. He said he imagined it like it's the Champions League. That he wants to be in these like Champions League games where you're going to be playing midweeks, two games on the weekend, and then a midweek game. So I think CJ Dos Santos has his eyes on Europe in the future. Honestly, when you hear things like that, where players talking about like, oh, it's like Champions League. Like, do you guys see that in his future?
No.
I can possibly see a call up.
I
the
can see
national
him being
team as
successful
well.
in MLS. I'm not sure entirely how. You know what? I will put. I will put my foot in my mouth actually right now in this moment, only because FC Northland. If a player ever goes to FC Northland from San Diego FC and plays against an FC Copenhagen, and they see some talent there, there's potential for that to happen. With CJ Dos Santos, I'm not sure that's a trajectory, but it's still a network that the Right to Dream network itself has. So maybe I think he has a chance. I can definitely see that.
I mean, you also got to remember, right? You have Duran Ferry, also part of this team. He's on loan with FC Northland, but he was your first signing ever. Whether it was just a marketing move because he was in San Diego Loyal, he's a local kid, whatever it is, he's also a very good goalkeeper. So it's going to be interesting next season or in 2 years if CJ's still playing at a good level, and then you bring in this kid that's from San Diego who has experience in Europe now, at a young age still, but with a little bit more experience now. It's going to be interesting what the competition looks like.
No, I agree. 4 MLS goalkeepers on the U.S. preliminary roster for Gold Cup. Steffen is one of them.
Rightfully so. He's having a great season so far. But yeah, I mean, you see this save as well coming into the second half. And it almost felt like Colorado had some momentum going to be able to get a goal in as well.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego FC just can't be falling asleep like that. Like in general, that's a scream. I didn't get my binoculars and look over to Mikey Vada to see how upset he was, but you just can't have these moments where the ball bounces right dead smack in the middle of the area, like in such a way, like just unacceptable, inexcusable in defense. Good offensive play, I'll give you that. Good throw-in, but yeah, not ideal by any means. But yeah, San Diego FC was being pressed in the second half a little bit, but
and then moments
not too
after
much.
that play, there's the second goal for San Diego FC from Anders Dreyer, which was, by the way, a phenomenal goal. Tony, you kind of shouted it out a little bit before the episode started as also possibly a goal of the week.
Forward plays well because they've had so much the ball. Incisive passes like that. Holding right into space on his Dreyer. Dreyer off the post. He'll second try. And he's ruthless that time.
I love a goal when you assist your own goal. Like, does anyone know if he actually gets an assist
No.
on that?
I mean, MLS rules are weird. He should get an
Yeah,
assist.
'cause he got an
honestly.
assist.
Maybe
He
the
got an
post
assist for
should
that
get an
corner
assist.
They count a pass to assist as an assist as well in MLS.
Yes, and I mean that was a great look by Jeppe Sverskov, and the art of soccer. And what I really appreciate about this goal is that the entire beginning of the second half, they really started to get Chucky fired up. Even the first half, Chucky was firing up, and it really felt like Chucky was going to have a great night, and they were going to keep attacking through the left. There's been times where San Diego FC has been forceful and been stubborn and keep going to the left, to the left, to the left. And what I like about this play is that they were setting up to really put this together. Is let's keep going through the left. The natural pass at this point would have been to go with Mighton, who's running down the middle right there. But you have it set up where it's perfect because everybody's overloaded over on the left. People stopped paying attention to Dreyer.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mikey Varas has talked about it before like that, right? That they've tried to focus a little bit on Chucky during the game to make that space for Anders Dreyer on the left. So I feel like it's been, on the right. So I feel like it's been working out, and this is where Anders Dreyer needs to take advantage, and finally is, right? Again, a dominant performance from your DP players in this game, and it shows on the scoreline.
It was a good night for them. Anders Dreyer getting himself on the score sheet once again. He was, people were asking, hey, we're more production, but I think overall in the scope of the season so far, you have to be happy with what Dreyer's been able to put on the score sheet and on his stat line for sure. 2 goals. San Diego FC pretty much liquidate this match. There wasn't much after.
I mean, you give up the penalty with the handball inside the box, and did you guys? I know the handball rule is weird. It seemed like the clearest handball in the world to me, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm the worst person to ask because for me, if it touches the hand, it's a handball.
Yeah,
and that's just I don't care how, even if it's stuck to the body. Like if it hits the hand, I could see a world where referee calls for a handball, even if it's incorrect. But San Diego FC kept having transitions. Kansas City was just everywhere. A great stop here by Stefan. I think got a finger on that one. Luca La Torre. I think people have been asking a little bit more from Luca. What do you guys think?
Again, I think his transitional game is excellent. I think if he's not on the game, you can tell when he's not on the game. That's how good on the ball he is. He's not a player to reflect the stat line, and I don't think he ever was. And you need those type of players in your team. So I think he's a very, very important player to that midfielder that even though he's not scoring, even though he's not assisting, he's still very influential on that midfield.
Yeah, and
those are the type. So those are sometimes the best players that you have. Like you can ask probably anyone in San Diego FC is like, so how good is Luca? And they're gonna be like, he's probably one of the best players in this team. Let's not forget he's here on loan from Celta Vigo.
Yeah,
like,
very much.
At the end of the season, that's a stance. He's going back to playing pro soccer in Spain. So
yeah, I think it's a purchase option on both sides. So he has to agree, and then they would have to agree. But I think he is showing out at a level where it's like maybe it's not on the score sheet, but if you have a smart team in Europe or back in Celta Vigo that are going to be like, hey, we want him back, especially if he's performing at this level where he's probably a little bit more fit than he has been in his past. So it's Luca de la Torre is playing at a really good level right now, I think.
So then the handball indeed happens as Abe called. Yeah, clearly it's a handball. Hands.
It's out like that. Like
everybody just knows. Nobody argues, really. Well, right there. Mihailovic is going to go ahead and step up for this penalty, and what we've seen happen. CJ Dos Santos saving the penalty. Not the worst penalty, not the best, for sure. Wasn't it was a good read by CJ. You know, he's goalkeepers are always on the losing side of things when it comes to penalties. So the fact that he stops it at any point, for as easy it might be, your odds are so bad, even on the rebound. But very well done there by San Diego FC to also clear that right after. CJ Dos Santos fired up. He knows what big moment that is. It could have meant Kansas City comes back into the game, but that's not the case. And San Diego FC pretty much cruises down into a 2-0 victory after this matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys went to the press conference after this. Tony, you showed clips of the press conference on your post-match show. So if you haven't, after SDFC home games, check out Tony's post-match show. Quick 30, 40 minutes of
A
quick recap of the game and then showing clips from the post-match as well, press conference. But yeah, you guys had Anders Dreyer. You guys had Mikey Vadas on here. How was it overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect game in terms of San Diego FC really keeping a clean sheet, being attacking, holding possession, dominating, playing and getting back to a team that had already beat them pretty handedly over in Colorado. So I think Mikey was pretty happy and the players were pretty happy about that, but also knowing that they have to pack everything up and come back 2 days after, 3 days after, essentially, for a match. It was, you can clearly see that it was wearing on them. Like, it was a long week for sure. Abe?
Do you think they pack everything up? I feel like they should leave all the signs there. It's like
So insider information, yes, everything does get left where it's at. It was great seeing everybody who works at San Diego FC just have that like sigh of relief of like, oh, we don't have to come into setup today or on Saturday because we can just leave everything here. There's nothing Thursday, Friday, so everything just stays in place. So
yeah, I think I definitely expected this team to win on this Wednesday game, but that Saturday game, you could tell there was going to be some fatigue there, and I think you could definitely see that on the players by Saturday.
All right, so let's go ahead and just talk about it. Let's get right.
I called it a trap game, and then I feel like there was a little bit of contention between Mikey Vadas and my question. Did you feel that while we were at training on Thursday?
A little bit of I think he was. Well, first of all, I interrupted the English flow with a Spanish question because I thought we were done. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I like hopping back and forth.
I can play that if you want.
Yeah, you can. I think because it sets the scene for I think what they expected for this Saturday match, because when you're playing the 13th place team, I think most people wouldn't expect a scoreless draw.
See if I can.
And as far as Brandon's questions is concerned, Chiva, do you want to pull that up? I think.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Didn't I get both predictions right over the weekend?
Sure did, Abe. You sure did.
I didn't get the exact scores, but I get the.
No, you got the prediction right.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Currently, Abe is leading with 8 points. Tony is in second with 5, and I have 3 points. Right now, I don't even need to catch up to Abe. I just need to catch up to Tony. 2 points, not that bad. I just got to make sure I get a perfect score prediction, which is doable for this next game against LA Galaxy. As Tony's having a hard time pinpointing Abe's questions. This is the worst I've seen you.
Honestly, I don't know when was this, Abe?
It was towards the end of his press thing. I can find it, and then we can talk about this game.
Does the opposing team have a press conference too, Jens? Ever get a chance?
So actually, MLS rules actually just changed. I was brought up that we can ask to go into the locker rooms, and that also includes the opposing teams.
We can go into the locker rooms?
Correct.
For home teams?
You know who told me?
Who?
Your pal Abe with the San Francisco hat.
Oh,
Scott French.
He
was there.
Scott
French was there. Oh, I missed Scott
He'll be
French.
there on Saturday as well. He said
He missed you actually. He was like, "Where's Abe?
Where's Abraham?"
I was like,
Scott is like the future version of me, I think. He's a very cool guy.
We told him he got fired. Some
we had to let him go.
Yeah, he's
very. He doubled down on this Kanye.
No, I had a very interesting conversation with him about LA Galaxy not being terrible this season.
I heard that conversation. He was actually defending LA Galaxy very, very strongly about
and
how
I was like,
not bad they are.
Tranquilo,
How-
viejo.
Not, and he was pushing, like he was pushing
Yeah.
back.
I was just being respectful. I was like, hey, me vale más.
Tranquilo,
Pero bueno,
viejo.
pero bueno, no hay pedo. Here's Mikey Varas on Friday.
trae las cosas
Well.
buenas,
Let's get him out of Spanish.
when things are bad.
Oh, there we go. Back in English.
Man.
Todos los días, cada minuto del partido.
We have it in English and Spanish, guys. So here's head coach Mikey Varas. Here is Abraham Cepeda asking a question to head coach Mikey Varas previous to the Kansas City game on Saturday.
Si hacemos eso, siempre tenemos mejor probabilidad de ganar.
The team at the bottom of the table, sometimes there's a worry from fans, maybe that you're not putting forth the best effort, maybe like trap game. But what do you say to your team to keep them motivated for a game like that?
Listen, if you want to be successful in life, you cannot change based on the external situation that you're facing. So when things are bad, and this idea of like, okay, now I got to work harder. When things are good, now I can relax. It's not going to help you sustain high level success at the elite level. So we talk about being consistent, being persistent, who we are in the good and in the bad, making sure that we're working really hard. And that one of our values is to embrace competition. Every time we step on the field, we have the tremendous honor, but also responsibility to give everything we have, because not everybody gets to do what we do.
Plus, I would think, too, a team like that, they're 5 out of the playoff spot, and they're probably looking going, wow, what a feather in the cap it would be. Second in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
You guys are sort of the
MLS is a tricky league. 3 wins in a row, and you can flip your position in the standings. 3 losses in a row, and you can drop quickly. So if you take your eye off of the prize at any moment, this league will give you a slap in the head and wake you up pretty quick. And then
Head coach
Do you
Mikey
think they
Varas.
got a Do you think they got a slap in the head on Saturday?
Sure did, because now we get to talk about the game on Saturday against Kansas City without their best player, by the way.
Jovic.
Out last minute because he was going to have a kid. He had a kid. So he missed this game due to that. And then we had Santiago Munoz, Santos youngster,
Legend.
Newcastle
legend.
player, starting for Kansas City. And this was the starting lineup again for San Diego FC. Everything the same except for Verhoeven starting at the right back position, getting his first start as a San Diego FC player, who didn't have a bad game, to be honest.
No, yeah, he seemed a little shaky at in some moments, but like he put it together, and that's what we've seen from the youngsters so far. Is there's moments of they're young, like they're gonna have these moments. They are playing against professionals who are veterans, who know this league, and give it to the kids to take a moment to adjust. But they did very well. So other than that, it's literally just run it back, and then we'll it's successful. Fix what's broken here at home. And yeah, Wheelie is not featured here. He has been a liability moving forward with the ball. Too much space behind him, and he's quick, but he's not that quick to
He's reckless.
come back with it, and he is a
reckless.
little reckless. And so I think Owen Verhoeven just is a little bit more conservative because he knows that he's getting an opportunity to be
Loveless
seen.
not even on the bench in this game, which is wild.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, but yeah. So that's essentially the lineup that we have for San Diego FC. The same one, Jovic not on it for Kansas City.
And right now you can end the highlights because that's what the
pretty
game
much
was.
it.
Snooze fest, not the best game. Nah, I'm just kidding.
All right, thank you.
Something to highlight that I noticed, right? It's overall San Diego, but specifically Anibal Godoy didn't have the best game in this one.
Mhm.
He looked tired. His passes weren't all the way there, whether it's because of the field conditions or it's just that he's literally playing on dead legs. Like his passes were off. He wasn't able to be the same player that he's been all season. He had a couple fouls. He got an early yellow card as well. Some shouts about the refereeing for this match. I don't think so. To be honest. I think the referee was pretty fair overall.
I was telling you what was going to happen with the referee before it happened. Like there were some calls that, and this is how soccer is. Like and that's how some referees are. Like they'll take it personal, and it doesn't mean that they're not necessarily professional. They're doing their job. They see a foul, they call a foul. Whether they turn a blind eye sometimes or just look harder because you give them a reason. Because San Diego FC is a bit of a vocal team whenever it comes to getting calls in favor or against.
Yeah.
They will argue and they will put a strong challenge in and then look at you like, what are you doing? That's not a yellow card. But also
Especially Jeppe.
especially Yepe Godoy gets in there sometimes. Chucky actually surprisingly a little bit fiery as well, a bit of a firecracker when it comes to it. But it did, and I agree with Espadon. It wasn't just Godoy. Everybody just kind of looked like they were on heavy legs.
Yeah.
However, I will give you, and I will call, and I'll raise the fact that you did have 3 games in 7 days. Kansas City had 3 games in 7 days away.
Why not rotate the squad a little bit? And again, this is maybe me nitpicking Mikey Vara's decision. Again, he's still a young coach, and you gotta best your best 11. But I mean, if your players are tired, why not switch it around? Why not start Oni Balakari in the midfield for this game? Why not throw in a Tomas Angel on the wing or up top? Why not start Milan Iloski for this game?
Tomas Angel is giving you a reason why he should not play every time he's stepped on the field as of recently. Every single time, like he's had opportunities to control a simple ball down the sideline and just goes off his foot. It's unfortunate,
but you have other options that you can play. I mean, like I said, Iloski, Balakari, like even rotating 2 or 3 players. Like you already took out Willy Comado for this game. Why not give those players also a chance to start? I mean, you've had only Balakari start for the most part most of the season. Why not give him the start in this game and just give Godoy some rest and then maybe bring him in the 70th minute and then give 20 minutes of the best thing that Godoy can give you for those 20 minutes after being on very tired legs. So I don't know. I mean, the defense played great. I mean, Kansas City is not a team that's going to attack a lot, and that showed with the stats. Like this was a team that came to this game to tie, to get a point on the road, and that was enough for them. And why not? Like you steal a point against San Diego FC on the road. Like at this point in the season, this is a good thing.
Yeah, and look, to the point, we do know what a Pilcher McVay center back pairing does look like. But again, like then you find out, right? Is it worth having a not fit team and potentially risk an injury? To answer your question, real quick, and Fryer about Jesper Lofelson, he has been training with the first team. So usually, what ends up happening with a player that's hurt is that you'll see them playing on the side or training on the side one-on-one away from the team. Lofelson has been with the team.
There's a certain number of players you can have on the bench, and coaches put out the roster for the team for like the players that are going to be available, and he's not making the cut right now. And it's not because he's hurt; it's just because there's better options. Verhoeven's an option now. Willy Comado's an option, so it doesn't make sense to put 3 right backs in your or 2 right backs even on the bench. So at this point, Mikey has to decide, okay, who's going to make the roster for this game.
If I had to pick gems through this game, I think this is my favorite play of the game. Chris McVay getting the ball in his own half and then just driving down the middle. And we've seen him do this. He did this against Colorado and just takes a shot and he's getting it done, man. And people should be giving McVay a little bit more credit on
him
the
and
squad.
Silvio Dos Santos, the only 2 players in this club that's played every single minute so far this season.
Yeah. So shout out McVay, who
and this was a player that wasn't considered to be a starter.
Yeah. He was
brought along.
It was
supposed
just
to be
a
Andres
for
Reyes.
now for Andres Reyes.
By the way, Andres Reyes still very unavailable.
Incredibly unavailable.
I'm telling you, I will talk about this just as a talking point. I think there's something going on with Andres Reyes. Whether it's an injury or something, like how is it you're coming from an injury, you play, you get a red card, you're out, and then you're injured again. I think something's not adding up here with Andres Reyes. And I mean, obviously the club's not going to come out and say like, this is what it is, but I think it's some internal stuff going on. I don't think he's probably injured, to be honest.
If we were in it for the clicks, I could have made a couple calls, but Abe, what are your thoughts on all this so far?
Yeah, I think you don't really even Andres Reyes at this point. It's like, does it even matter because of how well Chris McVay is playing? Like he's just been so good both on defense and then in these like special moments where he's able to bring the ball up or in these set pieces. So like at this point, like even if Andres Reyes is like at his top level, are you gonna take away that spot from Chris McVay with how well this team is going? I don't think so. And then also, like, from the macro level, I know Mikey Vada's talked about this a lot. I guess it is good for SDFC to be like winning these games or generally not losing these games. I think it's good for them, but seeing how Sporting KC can just sit back, and then how other teams have done it too. St. Louis did it to them in the past, where if there's a very clear way to at least draw or provide a lot of problems for SDFC and not really like worry about their offensive threat. So I think that's an issue to have looking forward. Just like, can any team in the league just say like, oh, we're just gonna sit back and see what SDFC does? Like it's possible.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And just to kind of table that, Andres Reyes, little bit of discussion there. He could be leaving this summer. There is going to be for MLS a special window opened for the Club World Cup for those
I
three
thought that was
players.
only the 3 teams that could do that.
In between them?
No, like those 3 teams can do whatever they want, but not every other team in the MLS.
Well, that's what I'm saying for Andres Reyes being taken out.
Yeah, but why would LAFC or any of these Club World Cup teams want?
I don't know, man. If Chivas' theory is correct, that something's going on, some dark arts is happening. But if not, then I will say, hey, it's right over here with the Real Swinging Fire. Like, is he a bust so far?
Oh,
so
yeah,
far,
100%. Like, I mean,
you miss
can't-
a third of the season
You can't even put him on the bus category. He's just not there. So I mean, I think that's probably just the worst move San Diego FC has done
in their history.
in their history. There you go.
All right. I could see him leaving at the summer. Esteban says, hopefully it's not some Herzog-like activities.
There's a lot of people that don't know
Shout out.
who Corey Herzog
Corey
is. Maybe you should
Herzog.
tell.
Well,
You
the
should tell that
story
story.
that there is. I don't-
Corey Herzog. The story that I've been asked for almost as much as anything else here in San Diego soccer. What happened with Corey Herzog?
What happened?
If you catch me in person one day, I might tell you. Abe just found out recently, actually. Yeah.
I honestly forgot.
Oh, well, I guess you're gonna have to see me in person soon. But what even was the conclusion to that? Not a happy one. Not a happy story. Bro, Afi, shout out. Tell us now. Again, you're gonna be in town soon, so I'll let you know. Mutual parting.
Everything's mutual parting. Yeah.
Parts in mutual. Like cries in Spanish, parts in mutual.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Andres Reyes, like I think someone in the comments said it, like I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves the club this summer. At this point, like why even pay him? Like literally, he's just collecting a check right now. Like it's crazy. But yeah. So moving on with the rest of this game. 0-0.
And then again,
Overall.
this moment could have been it, right? If it's a 0-0 game, one moment like this, the Sporting Kansas City gets, and it's a 1-0 loss at home.
Yeah.
Great shot.
And
And
we almost had the goal of the week there as
Yeah.
well. Like that would have been sick.
it was an incredible attempt on that, opening up the space, and you know, a good effort. You need to push up a little bit there, Womino. Just you know, you got there a little bit too late. If there's a learning lesson to be had, you know, have the confidence because you have somebody who's coming in and closing the pass over to the left. You can go ahead and close in right there instead of taking the step back.
Yeah, especially because you know this player is a lefty. You know you don't want to give him the inside. I mean, we see it all the time in Barcelona games right now. Like they keep giving Lamine Yamal the inside, and he's just punishing teams,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, this is something like that. Like you don't want to give the inside. You get the curling shot in. You want to push him out to the outside. So I mean, again, 18 years old.
Yeah,
He's
and
learning.
And look, this would have happened against the best left back in the world, anyways. Like, but like these are the moments that like tend to happen. Future San Diego City SC USL 2 legend Andres Reyes. Hey,
Find out next week. We're going to be
Find out
having
next week.
head
But,
of City SC San Diego here to talk a little bit about that.
did it bother you? Seated didn't die for that? No.
Nothing to do.
There's sometimes, and this is the reality of the goalkeeping position.
He stopped it with his eyes.
It's you're frozen, and I don't know how to describe that freeze, because for me, I like to express it in a way where like if I know the shot is going to be in and I can't go and I freeze, I'd rather just look at you in your eye and say, yeah, like I'll point at like, yep, good job. Like, yep, that's good. Like there's nothing for me to do. But to do that, sometimes goalkeepers are like, if I don't dive, I'm going to get yelled at in training for not trying.
No,
But
I mean,
then
there's
you
nothing
end up
to
making
do
the
with it.
shot and the goal look even more pretty. So, but it sometimes people are
like Osvaldo Sanchez in
So-
2006. Yeah.
That struck a nerve.
Yeah, it did. It hurt too. Like tu leyenda.
yeah. Sometimes you just got to clap it up. Yeah. No, like yeah. There's nothing for me to do. And
Because are not real goalkeepers. I mean, you ask a real goalkeeper and they would have said, "Yeah, I would have blocked that
with what?
with his eyes."
Well, he
You say
did.
that all the time. Yeah,
he did. He
Look at
blocked
that.
it with his eyes.
He followed through with it with his eyes and said, "Hit the post, hit the post, hit the post."
Yeah. Look. Here. Right there.
Hit the post, hit the post, hit the post. Like he didn't dive because he knew that it was gonna hit the post.
Just right there. Like you with the mouse. Like you could see the mouse is that vision. The Cyclops just gravity pulling that way.
I love the banter. Esteban knows a lot about this.
Wow. You gonna let him take that? It's all good.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Hey, check out Baller Crew.
Check it out.
on socials and on YouTube. Great stuff on there. But ultimately, like nothing else kind of happened.
So at the end of the game, Yepe went at it with the referee.
Yeah.
Pretty much like talk a little bit about like some of the calls that happened or some of the non-calls. And we did ask post-match, like, hey, what was all that about? And Mikey let us know that this was pretty much the team kind of arguing about the time. There was only 3 minutes given of extra time, aggregate time, after 10 substitutions were made. Some players were injured. It did seem like it was a little bit of time. But I mean, at the end of the day, like you had 90 minutes to score.
I was gonna say the same exact thing. Like you're spending 90 minutes here complaining about, oh, if we had 2 extra minutes. Like, come on, you had this whole game. You're a team that's much higher in the standings, but games like this happen. And if Kansas City's a team that knows that they can just sit in the low block and be comfortable, then there's gonna be tough decisions like this, especially on a rainy night in San Diego. It's tough. Am I frozen? Are you guys frozen? Interesting. Let us know in the chat if Tony and Chiva are still here, if it's just me. Could be a fun day of me just talking wave by myself, but yeah. Broadcasting Puma with a good goal, but can he do it on a rainy night at Snapdragon Stadium? You had to be worried about these rainy nights at Snapdragon. Last time it was truly rainy was that Gold Cup match last year for the women's game. But yeah, now San Diego FC have their next match up against. Let me pull this up here. I was actually looking up some Medica stats because they're going to be playing in the. Oh, what? Oh, sorry, you guys are back. I was looking up Medica stats because they're gonna.
That's what you do with the time.
It's a fine. I was while I was away. While you guys were taking over, I was just looking at that because they're going to be facing against America soon. But anyways, they're going to be facing LA Galaxy at 1:45 p.m. So it's going to be a sunny day. It's going to be hot too this week. So be careful, guys. Put your sunscreen on. It's going to be hot. 1:45 game against LA Galaxy, who are coming off a bit of a high. They just signed their coach to an extension amidst one of their really bad stretches, which is kind of interesting.
Terrible.
But it's a terrible stretch, but they have belief in Greg Vanney for whatever reason, which is, I think, fair and kind of cool sometimes to see from a organization to just believe in their coach. But at the same time, like, you're really going to give him an extension now? Like, that's kind of crazy. Maybe they're buying cheap, but it's crazy. But anyways, LA Galaxy versus SDFC this Saturday, 1:45 p.m., coming off of a draw in El Tráfico. What do you guys think? You guys got predictions for this?
I got 4-2 San Diego win against LA Galaxy.
All right, that was quick. Right out the gun. Look at this lineup. I just want to put it up real quick. This was the lineup for the first ever San Diego FC game in
Okay.
Los Angeles. As you can tell, Negri not featured so much. Loffelson nowhere to be found.
Same
Eminem, the center back pairing of Eminem, that's
info.
there.
McWall.
The McWall, CJ,
I-
the
I'm-
Eternals. Yes.
Okay. I was listening to the radio broadcast, by the way. Adrian Garcia Marquez is freaking awesome. It's so cool to have a local broadcast for these games. He calls them the McSmash Brothers, which I really like.
Hell yeah.
Did you catch the pregame with Tony Sanchez?
I did not. No.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thanks, dude.
Making the pregame show.
Yeah, that was invited over by Adrian Garcia Marquez and Darren to join them on San Diego Sports 760 for the pregame show. It was interesting. It was fun. It was cool. Yeah, I mean,
So-
it was a fun time.
Yeah,
Like
predictions from you guys. What do we got? Abe's currently the GOAT at making predictions for San Diego FC right now. And wait,
are you really going for 4-2?
I'm going for 2.
That seems like a big number, but I'll say 2-1.
Galaxy wins.
No, 2-1 San Diego FC win. Galaxy, they have a good draw against LAFC, but they're still not.
LAFC is
great.
also not the hottest team in MLS either. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a midday game. It's going to be 68 degrees, partly cloudy. It's not going to be hot. They have a whole week of rest.
19-0. Brandon. It's
What do you got? What do you got, Tony?
2 touchdowns, a field goal, and a safety.
No, it's 2 touchdowns with 2-point conversions on each touchdown and a field goal.
There's a lot of good predictions here in the chat today. So we go from 2-2, 4-0, 4-2. You said Chiba, 3-0 by Cisco, 1-1 by Jeff, 19-0. All right, 2-0 to the good guys. Shout out to Jeremy for wearing the San Diego Punto football shirt at Snapdragon Stadium, representing. 3-2 LA. All right, give me some chaos, says 619 Sports Soccer. I'm gonna go ahead and say it is a 3-1 San Diego FC win.
Not a bad shout either. All right, let's see. So far, Abe's currently in the lead. As of now, I'm walking to Snapdragon at the end of the season, but it's still a long season to go. So, anything else on the UFC, gentlemen?
Maybe Tony should join you after what I heard about what happened in the press box in this last game. Maybe Tony should be the one.
I don't know what Abe.
You've also been muted.
Sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about, Abe.
This is a good question by Jeff.
Is Landon Donovan coming in his Galaxy jersey or bringing out the chrome ball? He's going to bring out the chrome ball.
Just throw it on the floor.
Start juggling it
With his loyal jersey?
with his loyal jersey.
Oh.
Not that he ever had a jersey for loyal,
just
but
a scarf. The local
He
scarf.
still wears all the loyal stuff on his podcast, which I think is
does it
pretty
really? Sorry, I haven't had a chance. Haven't had the pleasure.
Haven't gotten that invite.
Yeah, maybe that's how he
man.
feels. Maybe that's how he feels
You
too.
should hit him up. He probably misses you. Hey, Tones. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tone.
Hey, Tone. Oh, good times. Rough times for Wave.
Landon is gonna kick the chrome ball and score. How about LAFC player Aaron Long in the chat asking for Bombino back to LAFC? Yeah, he was in here, 100%.
Yeah, he was.
They want him. They want him because he's good. He's absolutely good. Like he's again a great piece of work by the front office, by Tyler Heaps. I think it's time to once again revisit giving props to Tyler Heaps for building the squad that he's building up. These youngsters that are coming in, they've been stepping up. They have been stepping up, and you really have who's who in a lot of different ways. Let's get some Saidi sometime. Poor Manu Dua. People keep asking. He's injured, but people keep asking for him. Don't worry, he will play. But all right, San Diego FC. That is pretty much it for this week. We will see you here this weekend for that match. 2 matches at Snapdragon. Oof.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, which brings us over to San Diego Wave. Diego Wave.
Oh, wave, oh, wave, oh, wave, oh, wave.
San Diego Wave FC, also representing the city of San Diego incredibly well when it comes to soccer. They are currently in second place after defeating the big New York over there.
New Jersey,
Technically New Jersey. But
I still think they have the best name in NWSL. Gotham FC is such a cool name.
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Gotham FC, still one of the most recent NWSL champions. I believe one of the 2 most recent
also
ones.
a team that's fallen off in the last couple seasons. After that, after squeaking their way into playoffs and winning it all, but San Diego Wave are on a hot streak, and this is the starting 11 that Jonas Eideball put together. Tony, there was something, right? You called out, you told Jonas Eideball about Ascanio playing at the 9, and then
I was just trying to give him props. I'm like, hey, dude, like,
he
what
said,
is it?
"Yeah, give me props after this one."
What
too.
is it like developing Kimi Ascanio and seeing her develop in the 9 in the center forward position? He was like, well, it's good. Like, he's, he has blah, 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 blah. And then he goes on in his, his cool accent and tells me, that she's been doing well, and just decides, you know what? I'm going to throw her as a left winger.
Yeah, so you have Kaylin Sheridan on goal, Hannah Lusby at the right back, Trinity Armstrong solidifying herself as a starting center back. You get Kristen McNabb now because Kennedy Wesley got a red card the week before.
She traveled. By the way, she traveled. They thought that there was a chance that she might be coming on, and that got appealed, but clearly not. She just got a free trip over to New York,
which kind of sucks. I feel like it could have been.
It was a dumb red card to begin with. So
it was. So I mean, Pearl Moroni at the left back, Kenza Dali, Macasco in the midfield, Gia Corley at the 10, Cascarino at the right wing, Cascanio moving over to the left wing, and you have Adriana Leon returning as a starting striker. Solid lineup. What do you guys think? A couple rotations, one forced, and then Ascanio was a surprise at the left wing.
It's such a big surprise to me considering how well they've been playing in their last few matches. Like, you'd think, like, why would you switch that? Why would you move Ascanio out of the 9 spot? But it ended up working out really well. It must just be like a training thing that Leon's performing at a high level. Maybe Maria Sanchez wasn't on the best legs for this away match, but just honestly, like a bold decision from Jonas Eideball when they're playing so well, but it's just ends up turning out really well, even though the first 20 minutes were really bad from Wave.
Yeah, much like Mikey Varas did also experiment in the second half by throwing Milani Losky in the midfield. Like, it's just some time to experiment. When are you going to get game time to experiment with these things? And you know what? It was a big gamble for Jonas Eideball to do that with Kimi Ascanio. And you usually say, if it's not broken, why fix it? Well, it's not broken. You're not fixing it. You're just adjusting, and you're just seeing if it works a different way. And it seems like it did. Kaylin Sheridan getting an important dive there. But yeah, in the first couple of minutes, San Diego Wave wasn't in their optimal San Diego waviness per se. We've seen them be very dynamic, be able to move with the ball and control the pace right out the gate. But they did have to weather some offense from Gotham early on. And then it was really just kind of going back to basics, going back to what they know, moving over through the field, right to left, in and out. And they get rewarded by a great play here. Kimi Ascanio gets at the end of it.
San Diego leads. It's their third goal of the last 4 games.
Yeah, Pearl Moroni with the assist too. I asked Jonas Eideball about Pearl Moroni after the game just because I think she's been playing at a really high level, both on defense and offense. Yeah, just getting these assists, and it's not the best pass because it kind of hits Ascanio as she's going, but Ascanio able to recover and put up that right-footed shot. And then also the goalkeeper, she had a great game too. Berger is one of the top NWSL goalkeepers right now. She almost saved that too. It's kind of crazy, but it's just generally this team is performing really well right now. In fact, what if I told you guys this was the best stretch of Wave football in their history? Would you guys believe that?
I believe it.
Is it really?
It is tied for a 5-match unbeaten streak that they had in 2022, but that included 3 draws and 2 wins. This 5-match unbeaten streak is 4 wins, 1 draw, and that 1 draw being a very tough draw against Portland at home. So if they win, or even if they draw on Saturday or Sunday, they would have a new best. So like this team is performing better than they ever have in their history, which is kind of crazy to think about.
You mean the draw that they got robbed from with a last minute penalty?
A little bit robbed. Maybe it's robbery, but that things happen in soccer. But it's insane. They're playing the best soccer they've ever played.
Yeah, no, it's insane how good of a run they are right now. Currently sitting in second place, looking like a top 3 team in the league, right, Abe?
Oh, actually, they're top 2.
They're top 2 right now.
I think 2 is
saying,
in between 1 and 3.
Just saying, I have the clicks, click safe. So at the end of the season, when they finish off in the top 3, so I can just tell Abe, yeah, here you go.
Yeah, I will say, I've been proven wrong, much like many other media people in the NWSL sphere. I think I had them in the. I didn't have them finishing like last like everyone else, but I had them like playoffs 8th, maybe 7th place. But they're just dominant right now. It's so fun to watch them play too. Like comparing how they used to play to how they play now. This truly looks like a team with chemistry and that they enjoy playing this style of soccer.
Yeah, and really the masterpiece of this game isn't necessarily, the thing with this team was, hey, can they complete a full 90? And they have, and they were able to win a game in 90 minutes of play. But in this one, they score early, and the question then turns, can they win and maintain for that long and not get scored on, keep a clean sheet against a good team, a team that's going to go ahead and give you something to think about. And this is a different layer for San Diego Wave that we really haven't seen, that resilience to hold on to a lead and weather the storm throughout the whole match. And that's it's a different type of complete 90 that I think San Diego Wave is definitely proud of. And in the post-match after Jonas Eidevall, they have a little chit chat after with the players right after the final whistle. And that's what his message was, like, hey, good job, enjoy your day off here in the city. And, you really did earn this match. And that's because of the defensive effort, the hard work, the work rate, just the pressure by Moroni to get back and just make this shot uncomfortable. Like the hustle to do that can't be just overlooked. But San Diego Wave, again, is doing their absolute best. And congratulations to what head coach Jonas Eidevall and company have been able to get accomplished over there on the field side of things, because they're close to the gold standard right now. In second.
Something that San Diego Wave, something San Diego Wave does a lot is it's their passing. I mean, right now they lead the league in passing with 4,653 total passes.
Great stat.
Underneath them is Gotham FC with 4,100. So they're not only leading by a large amount, and that's just the type of play style that Jonas Eidevall is implementing. It's a lot of quick passes, pass, move, and it's been working so well. And they finally figured out, like you said, Tony, how to play a full 90. It's just a matter, can you keep it up all season long?
That sustainability factor is definitely going to be put in question. But for now, I think like the vibes are for sure there. Chemistry.
They lead in another category.
In vibes?
Not vibes. It's in penalties conceded.
Oh.
They lead in 4 penalties conceded. They're second place right now in goals at 16 goals. Obviously, Kansas City is up there with 19. But they're definitely a team that is putting and dominating so far.
All right. I like that. Abe, is there anything else that hasn't been already said about San Diego Wave this season? And overall, this performance against Gotham was huge.
I think 619 Soccer has been bringing up a good point anytime we do talk about Wave, that the teams that they are beating, they're solid teams, but they're not the top teams. Like they lost against Kansas City, they lost against Orlando, they had a tie against Angel City to start the season. So maybe it is a little bit of beating the teams that aren't as good as you, but that's kind of what you need to do, especially in the NWSL. You need to be getting wins over these top teams, but it's still like they look good in those Orlando and Kansas City games as well. So if they can sustain this, and what would you guys add in these transfer windows? Like, is there anything the Wave can do to like supplement this? Because like I don't really see that many deficiencies with this team.
No, I mean maybe get some depth behind McCaskill and Kenza, just like somebody who can really step in between. ¿Cómo se llama? Oh my gosh, center mid. She's also from
Pascal.
Giacorli?
No, strong defensive midfielder.
That they have right now on the team.
Yes, correct.
Kenzie Robbie,
No.
Favor Emmanuel.
Xavier Emmanuel, like
okay.
in between. Like I think Favor needs to go ahead and just be featured a little bit more, and that's going to be a good player to come in and close out the games. But if there's an in between where you can give that rotation to Sav and Kenza, but if not, then there's really nothing. There really is nothing. Cascarino's killing it. Maria Sanchez, it's just a matter before she figures it out. Down the middle, you have Ascanio. You found Ascanio there. Somewhere Melanie Barcenas is, dribbling herself back into the lineup at some point. So overall, a great performance by Jonas Sandoval and his team. San Diego Wave in second place in the NWSL. So
to go back to 619 soccer comment, it's also just saying two of those teams are some of the best teams in the NWSL with KC Current and Orlando, and they also didn't lose the other one. They tied against Angel City, and I'm not sure who the fourth team. Portland. I mean, that was a very, very tough game because you conceded a last-minute penalty, and they played better pretty much most of the game, especially considering that they got a red card. So also considering that early in the season, the team wasn't playing how they're playing now. They weren't putting a full 90 like they are now. So, I mean, again, just saying, yes, 619 soccer. Thank you for saying that. But I feel like right now, if you put San Diego Wave against Angel City, San Diego Wave dominates and also beats Angel City. You put San Diego Wave against Orlando, they can put a match against Orlando and possibly get a point, possibly get a win as well. Kansas City, different story. I feel like they're on a different level, though.
Very true. A couple of shout outs here on the Instagram. I'm sorry I missed it, but Camden Riley, former San Diego Loyal, great joining, says, miss y'all, man. Love seeing this fire emoji. Shout out to you, Camden. Shout out to San Diego Mike saying, I told you about Bombino. He'd be really good. Señor Ferre, Papa Ferry. Saludos. But yeah, it's a good time in soccer in San Diego, to be completely honest. And everybody's getting it together. So I think it's a matter of time before, the surfaces get it also together at home, at least for
gentlemen,
these two teams. Yes.
This weekend, this Sunday, San Diego Wave play at home at Snapdragon Stadium against NC Courage. Who plays in NC Courage right now? Jaden Shaw.
AC Murphy.
AC Murphy also plays there, but Jaden Shaw, her return for the first time ever at Snapdragon Stadium. I don't believe she scored at all this season, right, Abe?
She has not.
She has not.
She has not scored all season long. Is this going to be her first go of the season at Snapdragon Stadium against San Diego Wave in a 5-1 win by Wave? No, I'm just kidding. That's not my prediction. What do you guys think? Revenge game for Jaden Shaw. Does she score? Does she celebrate if she scores? Does Wave pull off the win? Again, they're on a 5-game unbeaten streak. Can they continue? There's only 3 teams right now in the league. 2 of them with a 5-game unbeaten streak. 1 of them on a 4-game unbeaten streak. Can Wave continue this and possibly just make the biggest run they've had in their 4-year span?
I think this is like the toughest prediction I feel like we've had all season, just because Courage has had a weird season where they started the season like 5 games unbeaten and weren't winning the possession battle like they have all year, like in their past. So, and Jaden Shaw didn't look good in those games either. But then they end up like beating Kansas City, which is kind of crazy, and then they also get a tie against Orlando Pride. So it's so tough, but I think I'm gonna predict a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw with a goal by Jaden Shaw for sure.
Ooh.
All right. Tanya disagrees with you. Says our defense locks in on Jaden. and she won't score. Wave win 2-0.
I'm-
Will we hear boos for Jaden? Like,
Oh,
will I like
no
it?
way.
You know what? The Wave crowd has gotten snappy.
I really, I
And you know what? I love
Snapdragon.
this, and I talked about it last week, right? It's
Snappy and
they're no longer an expansion team. They're a team in the NWSL. It's their 4th season.
Mhm.
Fans now they're developing those rivalries. They're developing that little grit against certain players. I don't think there's a boo against Jaden Shaw.
Let me
Jaden Shaw
remind-
asked to leave. She did it.
I
Was
know,
screaming
I
to
know.
leave
but she still did a lot for this club.
way before. Did she do a lot for this club, or did this club do a lot for her?
Whoa.
No, I think she did a lot for this club.
I would agree there, but looking at things where they're at now, how much of
What's your
that
prediction,
Jaden Shaw
man? What's your
berrinche-
prediction? Let's talk about it, but what's your prediction?
San Diego Wave loses at home 1-0.
Ooh, who scored it?
1-0.
Jaden Shaw scores it?
No.
Okay.
Ashley Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah.
Ashley Sanchez, she had a real revelation. Like, she was with Washington for a while, and they were like really upset that they let her go. But she's kind of she came into her own a little bit without Trinity Rodman kind of stealing the spotlight. So it's gonna be a good game.
In their own.
This is gonna be a good game. I'm excited.
It is going to be a fun game.
It is going to be a good game. So, Wave is
Yeah.
bound to.
Chiva
drop
can go
one.
ask Jaden Shaw that question that he always asks her. See what she says.
Watch, she gives a great answer to it. Actually, by name. Thank you, Chiva, for asking that. Wow.
I think she gets cheered too. I don't think she gets booed.
I don't think she gets.
Maybe if she scores, she'll get booed, but she's gonna
she
when they
celebrate?
announce her name,
feel
when
like she'll
Craig Elston says Jaden Shaw,
no,
the
No,
Snapdragon.
God, there's going to be boost. There's going to be boost.
She said no to you. She said,
Mm.
I want out of here. I do not want to be here. Get me out of here. And
Yeah,
that's exactly.
She's going to get booed.
This may be
Abe.
hyperbole. This may be hyperbole. This may be, but this is what happened. She did not want to be here. She got what she wanted. Now she gets a donut in her score tally this season.
So what happens if somehow Wave and Chelsea play a friendly at Snapdragon?
And
now
watch
she's Girma gets booed as well.
And watch.
didn't wanna
no,
be
no,
here.
no, Germa, that doesn't count because that's
They
not,
did sell her.
It wasn't
too,
like
so
bad
it's a little
blood.
different.
I don't think there's bad blood, but I mean, I feel like fans have a right to be salty.
Does she celebrate? Does she do the surfboard?
She brings back the surfboard. Can you imagine?
I hope she does, to be honest.
In
Just
front of
for
the
for
front of the
drama.
sirens?
For the drama. I'm kind of down for that.
I kind of want that to happen.
Me too.
Like I like at this point, like screw the
Oh,
scores.
wow.
By the way, I think we unless anything else popped up, we haven't finalized it. We won't finalize it now. We'll have to talk about it. But whoever wins,
Surfing.
is that what we're doing? We're surfing.
I'm down. I'm down. Like
I
you
like-
gotta,
I
you
like
gotta
Jaden
ride,
Shaw.
you gotta ride a wave. Come on, it's a
Okay,
fun
that's fine,
punishment.
That's fine. Punishment? Whoa, consequence.
Consequence. Okay.
Sir, we don't punish. You still down with that, Abe? Do you know how to swim? You don't look buoyant.
Do I know how to swim?
Yeah, you
Yes,
look
I
like
know
you
how to
sink.
swim. You know what I just realized? You know what Jaden Shaw's gonna do? Because this is the first game that Alex Morgan has
Yo,
been
I
officially the co-owner of this. Did we talk about this? I don't know if we talked about this. Did
We
we?
didn't, and it's
Okay.
actually to speak to how unimpressive that was for the general community. Nobody really cared.
It was. We all knew it was coming. I think I predicted it after her retirement. Like it's going. Maybe we'll see.
No.
Maybe we see Alex Morgan on the video board. Maybe they have her do the drum thing. Can you imagine Jaden Shaw like looks up into Alex Morgan's box and like points and sips tea or something?
Who I think I said that the other day. Who
That
did
would
they
be
play?
pretty cool.
That would have been cool if they scored and then just sips tea and does a celebration.
It's
Melbourne?
exciting. You know who would look really good on this San Diego Wave team? This like possession based, offensive, like creative, chemistry built team. Jaden Shaw.
That's actually very true.
Okay, at
That's
this,
actually really true.
At this point, though, honestly, the way they play, I kind of prefer Gia Corley.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, she fits the
I feel
system
like
a lot better.
hustles. She hustles so much. Jaden Shaw didn't have that grind that Gia Corley shows. Jaden Shaw had raw talent. Like her vision was amazing. Like she gave some passes that you're like, oh, a la madre, pinche pasesote.
All right, if I can get, I know Tanya has to be here still. I'll tell you, but like, is there a point where like for the 90 at least, like friendships come down and you will give a hearty just a hearty like, you stop that, Jaden, like don't do that, or like a legit like it's part of the game, right? Like it's you're not cheering for anybody to get hurt or any. It's just like I want you to be terrible at your job for the next 90 minutes, and I will do everything in my power to help you not be comfortable. And boo, like I'm not trying to hurt feelings here. When Bay FC come in town, Wave showed a welcome back graphic for Abby, so I see the same for Jaden.
No, but I mean, Abby,
Boo.
isn't she from the Bay Area? Like she wanted to be closer to home, right?
She was the first player ever. It wasn't Alex Morgan,
but
Abby
I feel
Dahlkemper
like
was
they
the first player ever.
left in good terms. It's not like Jaden Shaw went and said like, oh yeah, I want to go.
I
play
need
closer
out
to
of
home,
here.
trade me
I
to
do not
Houston."
want to be in San Diego. What Jaden Shaw said.
So
Abridged.
So did Girma, by the way.
Is
but-
that true though? NC Courage is the archetypal possession team, and Shaw can barely get minutes. Not sure she fares better here.
You know what? I think Dan's right. Yeah, I was. Jaden Shaw's a very creative offensive style of player, but when you have this very possession-based style, it seems like Jaden Shaw is like still trying to figure it out. She's still a very young player too.
Yeah,
I think she has like all the potential. She's still going to be in the U.S. Women's National Team. Like technically, Gia Corley could join the U.S. Women's National Team if she wanted to. Like she's still an under 20 whatever player. So, and Gia Corley was like 2 before she left for Germany. So you never know. Maybe Gia Corley takes Jaden Shaw's spot in the national team too.
see,
No, I
this
don't
is the
think
chaos I want. Gia Corley scores and will do the surfboard by the NC bench. This is a thinker, because not only does Gia Corley replace the spiritual replacement for Jaden Shaw, she scores, goes over to the bench because playback is insinuating Jaden Shaw is on the bench. So she wouldn't be on the field.
She's gonna start. She started this last game. for
This
them.
is the vitriol that I want in a friendly way. Like, sure, go for it. Like I want quiero sangre.
Jaden Shaw was the only reason why it wasn't like absolutely terrible last year too. Like
No, 100%.
without
Like,
Jaden Shaw, this
It wasn't the same coming back from injury.
the injury and everything considered, like maybe she's really not the same. Since that, it was probably one of the biggest injuries in her life, maybe
Oh, yeah,
career.
that was
Like,
tough. Yeah,
at the
especially it happened to her while she was at the Olympics too. Like that's got to be tough to go through.
Yeah, and
She's still a gold medalist.
still won that gold medal.
Gold Cup too.
That is
That is
also
true.
that is also true. So with that, anything else for San Diego Wave?
No.
Soccer in San Diego?
No, a lot of games this weekend. This week in general. So
Oh,
Two.
CONCACAF. Could you guys? Okay, here's a theory, or not a theory, a hypothetical. If the Wave won last year against Club America, this week they would be playing in the CONCACAF Champions in Monterrey, or is it Monterrey or Leon? I'm not sure, but they'd be playing in CONCACAF Champions in Mexico. Would you guys have liked to see that?
Yeah. I don't think they would have fared bad either. Like the way the play style, if they were to be able to translate it, they'd be able to do some damage. Because let me tell you, I've been watching a lot of Liga MX Femenil, and those are some good teams. They can do some damage to NWSL teams for sure. My daughter felt so betrayed by Shaw. She's telling me she's gonna boo like crazy. Love her.
I
love that
yeah.
energy. And you know
I
what?
I remember booing Adrian Gonzalez as a kid.
Good.
Did you
Good.
guys boo Adrian Gonzalez? Speaking of that
Yes.
jersey you're wearing, yeah.
Yes, 100%. First of all, by turning his back on Tijuana, who raised them. Oh, I'm from Eastlake. Oh, I'm from Chula Vista. Okay, Adrian. Goes over, betrays San Diego. Not only that, I think the worst thing about that move by Adrian Gonzalez isn't that he left for the Dodgers, is that he
He got
left
traded.
No, is that he left us with his brother Edgar Gonzalez. What was that about?
Took his brother with him. No, he got traded to Boston, and he was calling upon the Padres to make the stadium smaller because he had so many like almost home runs that were getting marine layered. It's just
You just weren't good enough. I'm sorry, Gonzo.
And then they changed the dimensions after he left because they realized like, hey, maybe he had a point.
Maybe he was right. It's all good. Shout out Adrian Gonzalez. But yeah, with that, nothing else for San Diego Wave. I think we'll close it. We'll close it on down here. Are you okay?
Oh
no, we're gonna.
That's usually how we end it.
We're keeping this going, guys. No, we're not. All right. With that said, we want to go ahead and say thank you to everybody who has joined us today. And every time that we hop on to Two Balls and a Mic, we are going to go ahead and start splitting the segment, San Diego FC and San Diego Wave, and putting San Diego FC's portion of this live stream up on Tuesdays. And then Wednesdays, Wave Wednesdays, we'll put the San Diego Wave portion on the video section. How about that, Abe?
That sounds cool. I'm going to be at Wave training this Wednesday, so be on the lookout for an interview with Savannah McCaskill.
Savannah McCaskill on the hot seat with Abe and Two Balls and a Mic. San Diego Football also at training for SDFC as they head into this weekend against LA Galaxy, the current reigning defending champions. We'll see how that goes. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, everybody, for everything. See us around the stadium. Say hi, please. Still waiting on the deep frying 101 videos. Just saying. Yeah, they're still there, actually. I clicked on it the other day. Good video. So with that said, have a good one. Bye.